a sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is a very casual, impromptu interview. With me is Linda Koyabu.
Yeah.
Now, she came here from East Van to interview me for her show. The name of your show is?
Wham Bam East Van, baby. And yes, I'm Linda Koyabu, but I'm also known as DJ Medi.
Oh my gosh, so you're also a DJ.
Yes.
And you work at Simon Fraser University.
Yeah, so I deliver the mail at SFU. Yeah, so that's
cool.
My regular full-time job. And then the radio is actually volunteer.
Oh, right. So I do this as a volunteer as well. So,
Yes.
so I understand, but not for as a, not for any university, just on my own.
Yeah.
So when did you get involved in doing your show?
You know what? So the radio station, they always ask for volunteers, and anyone can volunteer. So you don't have to be a student, right? So if you're interested in broadcasting or just want to try it, like I said, they accept volunteers, they train you. And so I've been practicing before COVID, and then when COVID happened, I started my show called the Wham Bam East Fan Show.
Wow, that is really cool. So it gives you a lot of good experience that way if you want to branch out later on your own, right?
Mhm.
To get that training from the university. That's really great. Oh, I forgot to ask you, by the way, the origin of your last name.
Yes, it's Japanese.
Japanese, okay. So were you born in Japan or you're in Canada?
I was born in East Van. Bam East Van.
Do you speak the language?
It's minimal.
Okay.
It's very minimal.
Have you been there?
I have, because like my other relatives are all in Japan. It's just our family just immigrated to Canada, so we're kind of detached. But other than that, we still keep in contact, but it's I don't go there too often.
Well, it's a long distance, right? It's a long trip. I know, because my son lives in China. He's been there for about 18 years. And yeah. So I know what it's like, when you have somebody so far away, right?
Is he teaching English in China?
No, he started off, and then he opened a bunch of schools.
Oh, wow.
But they've been shut down. And we'll talk about that off camera because it's about the Chinese government. So I don't want to cause any problems.
That's right.
But anyway, okay. So how long have you worked at the university?
Like I said, just before COVID. Yeah.
What were you doing before that?
Before, I was delivering parts at Napa.
Oh, really?
So yeah, Napa, they have these cute little cars with the yellow hats.
Yes.
Yeah, so I kind of like doing that and kind of hanging out with mechanics and looking at cool cars, so that was my thing. And then, someone says, oh, you could deliver mail at SFU. I'm like, oh, okay. But I was volunteering already at the station at that time. So I said, you know what, maybe I should get a job at SFU. And then that way, I'm close to the station as well.
Wow, that's really interesting. Well, what made you decide to deliver for Napa?
Napa,
That's neat itself.
I think it was those cars with the little hats. I was just looking for a job, and I just thought those cars were pretty cute.
Well, they are cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think as a female, it's kind of fun too to be delivering parts, right?
Yeah. And I DJ on the side as well. So I also DJ for like weddings and Christmas parties, like corporate gigs. So I do that. So that's why when I transitioned to I'm still doing that, but getting into radio, that kind of helped. Yeah.
Right. Get your name up there more and more, I suppose, right?
Yeah, I guess so. But I also had friends that are musicians, and I kind of wanted to promote them too. And I think that was the main thing. Yeah, because I've been to like their practices and their rehearsals. They work so hard at their craft. And I was like, man, you guys gotta get out there somehow, right? So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get into radio, and I could just play your songs,
That's pretty awesome, actually, because I feel like when the performance was shut down during COVID, I thought, this is when we need the music.
Yeah.
Not when we shouldn't have it,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, so now what else do you do? Do you have hobbies, special interests?
Well, like I said, the DJing, and then also the radio show, and then working full time. It's already it's already pretty full as it is.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I do like to go to the shows and catch people, perform. Other than that, yeah, like I said, my days are pretty full. Some people try to approach me for other projects. But other than that, I'm like, yeah, I try to keep it at a minimal, and I gotta say no sometimes. Yeah,
it's impossible to do everything, right?
Yeah.
Well, I find you're very high energy, so I can understand the DJing, and you must sound really good on the radio show. I'll have to listen. I'll have to listen to it sometime to see what I don't mean sometime. I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to be nice here. So we have a connection. The reason why. How we connected. I did an interview with Peter Tam, and I
interviewed him too. Yeah, so
that's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, to have been able to link things together like that.
Exactly.
When people, I don't know how you feel, but I'm thinking you're probably the same. Like I feel there's room for everybody out there.
There is,
right?
There is.
We don't have to be jealous or not be generous with other people to share the space.
That's right. Yes, yes.
And that's one thing I like about musicians, because most of them that I've met are like that.
Right. Yeah, and then they collaborate with each other as well. So sometimes, like when I do interviews and whatnot, like some people will recognize someone else, or they'll go to a show and they'll be like, hey, I
heard you on the radio. Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Do you sing or perform in any way?
No, I don't. So just playing music is my thing, but I tried to learn drums once, and you really got to take time to learn an instrument, I noticed. So if I'm busy, it won't stick, right? So so I noticed maybe when I do have time I could learn something, but for right now I just dibble dabble, like
yeah. So do you have a favorite type of music?
I like all genres actually. When you're growing up, I think you kind of listen to like normal radio kind of top 40s kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then once you get older, you get to see more live music, and then you can get into other genres. And then that's where I kind of, found the local scene, right? So, but I'm into like metal, like, because they're just like that energy. The first time I saw them, like when you're a kid, you're hearing this rah, 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 right? And then you're like, you're not understanding the music, right? But when you go to the shows and you actually see them and you're like, oh, okay. And now I can hear that song that I was playing before. And I'm like, okay, now it's like actually coming to life. And then you start liking it. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Is this your first trip out to Chilliwack?
No, I've been to Chilliwack before. I've done some weddings out here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering, because do you feel a big difference, like living in East Van and coming up to Chilliwack?
Right. Yeah. It's the country, right? It's like that's what it is. It's I don't know. I didn't see any cows, but I don't know. Do you feel like it's right?
Yeah, well, not so much now. Like, well, of course, I'm living right downtown.
Downtown, right? Yeah.
Area, so obviously, but I used to live up in Ryder Lake, which is more, in the mountains and in the hills and stuff, and there were farm animals around, so that was pretty good.
There's horses here. I know there's horses around here.
Yes, absolutely. Probably up in Ryder Lake not only there. There's lots of places that have horses. And do you have like here we have a nice fair and we have a culture center. You must have the same.
Oh, there's so many, right? There's so many in Vancouver, and I urge you to go check them out, because you just look in the paper, go online, whatever you need to do. And also try to get to know some of the performers as well, because there's a girl that I interviewed, Amanda Sum, and she does I think she's doing the Alice in Wonderland, like it's an East Van kind of a theme to the story, right? Okay, so and she does a different one every year, and so I interviewed her. I know her music, and I've been to her theater, and it's fantastic.
Seeing a live show is really interesting and much more fun, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
That the energy that you get from the live performance is really wonderful.
Yes.
So do you have? No, I forgot to ask. Maybe. Talk about some of the people you've interviewed, other than the two that you've mentioned.
Right. Okay. Well, like I said, I also interview a variety of people. So it's not just musicians. I will interview, like I said, business owners, actors, right? Also, you know what, I do want to go to more businesses. There's some businesses that have kind of funny names, and I want to interview them, right?
Yeah.
Because there's an auto shop, and they're called I'm just trying to think of their name. Something like almost. Oh, I'm just trying to think of it. Something like almost do or can do. Oh, I'm just trying. Oh, I can't think of the name. It'll come to me, but it had a funny name. And I want to go to them and interview them and say, "Oh my goodness, I love the name of your business." Yeah,
that's why I like bands. The name bands come up with.
Yeah,
right. And it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So we have kind of the same, a lot of the same type of interest in interviewing anybody from anywhere. Right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And sometimes I forgot to ask you the question about have you ever gone to Vancouver?
Well, I have been, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Not to do interviews.
No, but like, what do you enjoy about Vancouver?
Well, I used to take art acting classes there, and
You did?
yeah, and I used to be involved with I was at the Wise Theater.
Yes.
I've done performances there for the Vagina Monologue.
Oh, shut up! Okay, because Valentine's is coming up, and I'm gonna check out the Taboo show, and I usually like to do that every year.
Right.
So yeah, talking about vaginas. Yes. Did you want to spill a little beads about your?
Well, I haven't done it for a long time, but mostly it was in Mission that I performed. But Gwen Hunt at that time was putting them on, and I've had various parts. The first time I performed, I read the letter from the author Eve Ensler, inviting everybody to an event that they were having, and after that, they would give me the reclaiming the C word. Only because when you think about this, I'm very short. I'm 4'9". I was probably the oldest one on the cast of the members. And so you have this short little person, older person walking out. Yeah. And what word are they using? So they thought that would have a great effect.
Yes, it does.
It was very much fun. I would recommend anybody to go to it or be involved in it.
Okay.
Although she's now moved over to the island, so they're doing it over there now.
Right.
How did we get to switch back to me?
Because that's how good I am.
Yes, you are good. Very, very. Oh, I'll tell you how good she is. Hint, hint, everybody, she brought me chocolate.
I did, yes, because they were on sale, and I love things on sale. I think it's an East Van thing, sorry, but
I don't care. Yeah, chocoholic.
Yeah, chocoholic, and they're goodies, and they were like 99 cents. I was like, dang, you know what? I'm just taking a whole bunch of these, and I'm just going to give away them to people. Yeah.
So that was really fun. I interviewed Arthur Green, who's a representative with the Green Party here, and for Chilliwack Hope area, and he was the first person that ever bought me anything, and it was chocolate. So. Yes. And so somebody asked me after that who was my favorite guest, and of course I said anybody who gives me chocolate.
Oh, shut up. Okay.
Have you had a favorite guest? Speaking of that,
I have lots of favorite guests.
Yeah,
and you know what? I do an award at the end of the year, and so like all the guests that I had for that year, I get people to vote, and they get to choose who they thought was the best interviewer or the best interviewee. Nice. And then I get to pick one as well for that year. So this year we'll find out who it is, but we won't know till February because we're going to tally the votes up. But from last year, it was Billy Hopeless from the Black Halos. And during COVID, we went out to a lake in it was Burnaby Lake.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got a boat and we did our interview on the boat. Oh. And it was Friday the 13th. So he wore the Friday the 13th mask. And we were doing our interview there. And we also did an interview. He also introduced me to Punk Rock Pastries.
Okay.
And they actually make cookies. They do dicks and vagina cookies, or that kind of a theme. So go check out Punk Rock Pastries. They're on Hastings.
Oh my God.
Yes. And yes, some of the items could be pricey, but they're custom made, right? Yeah. They custom make them, and they're so good.
Oh my God, that sounds so much fun. I have to say, I miss doing on location interviews. So I had a friend who's moved up to Cache Creek, but she would go with me anytime she would drive me to the interviews, and it was really fun to go and do them on location, right? It changes things up for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't do Zoom. So that's why I was like, oh, you Zoom all the time, right? So you're the expert here. So I came out to see you, and then I just prefer live.
Yeah, I understand that. So do I. But at the same time, for me,
you can
Zoom opened up a whole new world
for you. Yeah.
Like I love. Well, I shouldn't say I love COVID. I don't mean that, but that shutdown didn't bother me.
Right. Yes.
I tend to be a loner anyway. So
and it helped you to still communicate with the world. Yeah. And I love this. Small talk. Yes.
That's a double meaning. Right? The interviews are usually short,
right?
And I'm short. So.
Yeah, and right now I'm wearing a t-shirt from it's audio. It's one of the record shops on
Come Look.
It's Audiophile.
Come Look, you will find.
Yeah, I know, it's really light.
Yeah.
So I did an interview there as well. It's on Commercial Drive, so it's a record store on Commercial Drive.
Nice.
Yeah, and I interviewed a girl that made she's in a metal band, and she won a Juno Award.
Marvelous.
I know. So that was a cool thing too. So yeah, you never know who you're interviewing, because before my show's called the Wham Bam East Fan Show. Before I started the radio show, I volunteered at this event called the Whammies, and they gave out awards to local musicians, right? So, and that was one of the girls we gave an award to, and then she made the Juno. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is fantastic. Yeah.
So I forgot to ask you. Yeah, is that how did you come up with the name of your show? Because it's a little fun.
It is a little fun, yeah. When I was kind of brainstorming, I was thinking of a few different ones, and then I asked the people at the radio station, can I do Wham Bam, right? And I could just interview like whatever, anything. And they said, no, you got to be more specific. They said, you got to either pick a genre, you got to do just jazz, or you got to do just this or whatever, right? And then I said, okay, what about just local? Then I changed my name to Wham Bam East Van.
Right, okay. That makes still upset, but it still sounds a lot of fun. I mean, it really is a great name.
Oh, thank you.
This has been, speaking of, this has been a lot of fun, but I think we're going to end it there. So I want to thank you so much for, first of all, coming here and interviewing me and staying for me to interview you. It's what's the word is turnabout is fair play, so yes, people. So you've been listening to Linda Koyabu.
Yes,
I remembered her last name.
DJ Medi. What?
Remind everybody again about your radio station.
It's on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. on CJSF 90.1 FM. And you could also check it out online at cjsf.ca.
Don't forget to do that. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I hope you continue to do so. And take care and peace out. A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community when you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see.